Welcome to the Cross Country Ramblers YouTube channel. I'm Aaron. Today I'll be your host. And we are on board with my buddy Mike for this video. I'm going to take Mike and I'm going to show him the trails that I ride on around my house. The ones that my loop that I train for the GNCC and some other local hare scrambles that I do. So this is a lot of fun. This is my home stomping ground, and hopefully you enjoy seeing where we ride. So I'm very blessed to be able just to ride straight out of my garage and be on the trails and be where I need to be. So typically on this day and other days, the first thing we do is we come to this little area and just hit some of these little hill climbs just to, get used to it. It's good on muddy days, so they're a little more challenging, but they're a lot of fun. Like everyone else on YouTube always says, especially with these dirt bike videos, is the camera just doesn't do these hills justice. So they are steeper in real life. They just don't look as steep with the camera. So keep that in mind.
You done this one? That's a good one.
So after we do the hills, we make our way over to my race course, basically, the practice course. So I'm not real quite sure how long my loop is, but I just wanted to show some video of just the loop that I do. So when I do this loop, when I first started especially, my goal was to be able to do the whole loop and not sit down on the seat. So because the standing is the way you're supposed to ride when you're doing this type of racing and woods riding. So I've really spent a lot of time just working on my technique. So it's cool to actually that Mike's behind me so I can see how much I stand or where I sit. This trail at the time that we were riding was pretty new, this part of it at least. I basically just took my Yamaha Rhino and just rode it through here and beat the bush down. So since then I went in and cut some of those little things out and move some of the logs, and it's a lot better, a lot faster too. Every time I try to hit that log right there sideways and go straight across, I always wreck. So I make the loop and hit it sort of perpendicular so that I can safeguard my body and not hurt myself. So this area here is pretty technical, and I just cannot stand. It's basically a downhill and then a turn and immediately going back up the hill. And I just always have to sit there. I can never stand through that section. Thank the Lord for bark busters, especially through that section. I love the sound of those two strokes when you're on the pipe. Now, when we were riding, it was the middle of August in this video, and I hadn't ridden for a while because I actually been on a mission trip for about 5 weeks, and so I was a little rusty. So when I was coming down this hill, it's real steep and rocky, and then when you get to the bottom, you had to make a quick turn and shoot back up the hill. So I made it down the hill decently. But when I made the turn, I stalled it out. So once I got back going again, I was good. So this little section, you can see it stays wet a lot. When it's wet, after it rains, it's really muddy. So it's a great place to sort of go and hit those ruts and work on how you hit those.
Oh, shit. Down I go. Where the heck did that rock come from? Holy cow!
Sorry about that. Thanks for cleaning up my mess. So I came back to check on him. He was all right though. So then there's this little section. It's like a little gully, and I just tried practicing riding up the gully. I don't think Mike understood that, so he just went around the gully and passed me, which is cool. He's a lot faster than I am anyways. This is a nice little hill climb, and again I was rusty, stalled it out on the hill climb. So Mike waited for me for a little bit. I got her going again. So here I am. This part of my little track just reminds me of the GNCC courses because it's four-wheeler size. The only thing that it doesn't have are like the berms, which would be awesome if it did. But now let's like riding through here. So Mike's complaining, and yeah, he's hitting the blackberry bushes. So unfortunately, like I said, this area is going to be developed. So my trail, I don't know how much longer I have access to it. So eventually they'll come in with bulldozers and excavators, and they'll cut down all these trees and start building houses. So I'm definitely going to enjoy it while I can. So that was our loop. So this is us headed back to the house. So another good day out riding some dirt bikes. So typically I try to do that loop, just ride loop, lap, lap, lap for about 2 hours and just ride until I get tired. So and here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys, and if you're not a subscriber, become one today. Thanks and God bless.